What's going on, guys? The Comics Kid 2099 here. Welcome to day 229 of the 365-day graphic novel review challenge. I figured that even though I'm done talking about the autobiographical graphic novels that I got whenever I was taking the graphic novel class in 2009, I figured I would go ahead and just keep talking about all the other books that I got from that course that I still have. So today I'm going to talk about City of Glass. This is a very short book. It's like 100 pages long. I think this was the first book that we talked about that semester. And this is based on a novel by Paul Auster, and it is adapted by Paul Karasik and David Mazzucchelli. You've probably heard of David Mazzucchelli if you are a fan of superheroes. He collaborated with Frank Miller a couple times. He did Born Again, Daredevil Born Again, and Batman Year One. This is the same David Mazzucchelli. And his style here is very different than his style on Year One. I haven't actually read Born Again, so I don't know what his style was like there, but it's very cartoony here. It's not at all like what he did in Year One, but you can kind of tell that it's the same guy, but it's extremely different. But I thought that was an interesting connection. But this book is very weird. This is almost incomprehensible. This is sort of a detective story, but it's really strange. It's not a detective story that uses the rules of fair play. I've talked about that before, where if you are doing a detective story, you really should offer up enough clues in your story so that the reader can figure out what's going on around the same time that the detective does. If you have the detective bring up something that was never brought up in the story and say that's how they figured it out, then that's not really fair play. This is not a fair play detective story. You've got this guy, he's trying to solve a mystery, but it's extremely weird. It gets very trippy in this book. By the end of the book, without spoiling too much, it's really difficult to figure out what is real and what is in the head of the protagonist. This is a book, we had a vocabulary list whenever I took this graphic novel class, and one of the words on the list was non sequitur. And I'm 99% sure that the only reason that this was on our reading list for that semester was because he wanted us to get a really good idea of what a non sequitur was. This is a book that it goes pages and pages where the main character is talking to somebody, and we see all of reality changing and transforming, and it's very bizarre. Like I said, this is one of those books where by the end you really have no idea what is real and what isn't. It's a very interesting book, though. Artistically, it is extremely interesting. I love Mazzucchelli's style. He really brings something to this. I have never read the original novel by Paul Auster, but I can't imagine that I would enjoy that novel more than I would enjoy this book. This does not make any sense at all, but I feel like I enjoy this so much more than I would the original prose. Again, have not read it, but the artwork here really elevates this story, even as nonsensical as this story is. This is one of those things that I really just want to sit down and look at the pictures and just ignore all of the words. And yes, comics are a marriage of words and pictures, but this is one of those instances where, as I am more of a story guy than a pictures guy, I still really love the artwork here, and I would say that I like it a lot more than the story in this particular case. So if you like weird, out there stories like Fight Club or something like that, then you would probably really enjoy City of Glass, or at least this adaptation of City of Glass. But I personally really enjoyed it, even though I didn't really understand a lot of what was going on. But I think if you are into that sort of thing, you would probably like this book as well. So those are my thoughts on this adaptation of the novel City of Glass. Hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with a different video. In the meantime, you guys have a great rest of your day. Catch you later.